So welcome back everyone to another episode of Nobody Asked. I'm Viva. I know too many stories and nobody's asking for these stories, but I'm here to tell you anyways. And for those who is new here, welcome, welcome. I hope you what was that accent? I hope you have your popcorns. I hope you have your drinks ready. And just to say this before we start, everything between us right now is just hot gossip. I'm not here to defame anyone or tell anyone that they're wrong. We're just doing a little gossip between us. For today's topic, we're diving into events that went every way but good. It was so memorable in a way that it's not like, oh my God, like I had an amazing time. And also like, I will never forget this. But in a traumatic way where I will never forget that this traumatized me till the end of my life. And before I start this episode, I know I've been missing for a few weeks. Let me explain myself. This year is my year of side quests, and I've been picking up so many side quests that I burnt myself out. Hence why I was gone for like 3 weeks, and I was like, oh, my brain isn't working properly. And now it is properly. 100%, I'm not too sure, but at least it's functional. Oh my God, one of the things that I got started is doing my nails. If you could see, if you're watching, you could see my nails. If you're not watching, my nails looks amazing. They're gold and green, and I did it myself. And so if you're ready, let's get this started. Today we're talking about Barbie Dream Fest. That literally was held like, I think, March, a month ago, 2 months ago, and it went viral for creating what was supposed to be a dream fest for Barbie fans and little girls. It turned into nightmares and traumatic experience for kids and the adults and the internet as a whole. Now, to backtrack, I think this is a recurring event because I remember a couple years ago, we had the Willy Wonka Experience in Glasgow that you walked in and you would be expecting a candy land with lots of chocolate, Willy Wonka himself, but then you walked in and get traumatized that Candyland or Wonkaland isn't what you've expected. So before we step into Barbie Land, let me take you on a little tour at a chocolate factory from Willy Wonka's himself that turned into a disastrous event back in 2023. A production company called House of Illuminati posted on Facebook saying they're going to have an event based on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And for those of you who know me and who've at least talked to me about my favorite movies, I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The movie, part 1, part 2, I love the music. I still have it in my playlist and it will pop up from time to time. And I'm like, Oompa Loompa. I just love it so much. So if you're in a car with me and it switched into Charlie and Chocolate Factory soundtrack, don't be surprised. So this event was called Willy's Chocolate Experience. First of all, let's just talk about who is hosting this event. It's called House of Illuminati. That doesn't sound real. That sounds like a scam. I can't believe the person who, I guess, created the brand. They're like, oh, let's create an event company, but let's name it House of Illuminati. The only thing that you would associate yourself with Illuminati is like cults or like theory. I have no idea, not a company name. So this event is an event that is advertised for kids to be able to experience an immersive Willy Wonka and explore his chocolate factory, charging 35 quid per entry. Now, this could have been an iconic moment for like a kid to go into Wonka's land, see the Oompa Loompas, get lots of chocolates, and they're like, oh my God, I had a blast as a kid. I went to Wonka Festival. No, that wasn't the case. Parents thought it would be like that as well because it was advertised in such way and in such manner. However, they walked into a large abandoned warehouse that was so empty. It just looked so sad. Wonkaland was so small, and I feel like the space was too big for the event. The chocolate river was basically just like a small brown murky water, like a pile of like brown water, and that was it. And there was like a bouncy castle that could fit like 4 kids max, maybe 5 if you're really small, or maybe 6 if you throw a baby in. It wasn't enough to fit all the kids that were going because this was mainly advertised for kids, and parents bought their tickets and their kids' tickets to go into the event, to go to Wonkaland. The good thing is that one of the efforts that they made was they had a backdrop, a very fancy AI-generated backdrop pinned to the wall very sadly, I must say. It just looks so tacky. Like their setup looked like Mr. Wonka got robbed and he was like, oh, let's create an event and scam people for money so I can rebuild my factory and, bring back the Oompa Loompas and pay their pay because they haven't been paid for like 2 years. That's the vibe it's giving. Now, we have to look at how the event was promoted as well because it's very, 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 very misleading. Everything that they use for promotion is AI generated. Even the captions, the images, like nothing is taken from the real prop or anything at the event at all. This is the photo in question that promised everyone a fantastic Wonka time. If I see this being advertised as Wonkaland, I would definitely feel very creeped out. Most of the staff in this event were aspiring actors that just needed a gig, just needed something to put in their resume. And they got to be Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas. And they got to give out candies to kids, which on paper sounds really good. But when you go into the actual event, it is absolutely not. It just sounds like you've been scammed, as well as the parent being scammed and the kid being scammed. The actors are being scammed as well. If we think of characters from Willy Wonka, we would think of the characters from the first one and the second one, like Johnny Depp's Bob. That's what we were expecting, right? But no. And also, the Oompa Loompas was not what you were expecting. We have actors dressed in probably like sexy Oompa Loompa outfits. I bet they got it from Amazon. They're like, oh, yeah, that works. You're an Oompa Loompa. That looks like an Oompa Loompa. Doesn't matter if it's a sexy costume or not, but yeah, it's fine. And paying £35, you would be like, okay, I've paid £35. There should be some candy. I should get something in return. Or I should get an experience. That was good, right? No, this is what they did. There were no chocolate. I repeat, no chocolate. One of the actors who played the sad Oompa Loompa, she said that they were given a script that was clearly like an AI written. They said, improvise. You guys are actor. Improvise. In addition to no chocolate, the kids instead got 2 jelly beans per person. And to be extra fancy, they also handed out a cup of lemonade, which also wasn't a full glass lemonade. It was just a quarter and given out to every kid. I'm not too sure if they're giving out to adults as well, but for sure the kids have got 2 jelly beans and a quarter cup of lemonade, which is probably worth the 35 quid. I would not pay 35 quid for that. I am sorry. I am such a huge Wonka fan that this would make me cry at the event. I would be the little kid. Actually, not the little kid. The grown-ass adult who stood there and I was like, I paid £35. I took a day off just to come to this event. All the scripts were AI written. The worst thing is that this happened 3 years ago. That means AI wasn't as improved and as advanced as these days. So AI is a bit wonky. In the script that the actors were given, there was a new character. How did we unlock a new character in Oompa Land or Wonkaland? There was a character called The Unknown. Going back to their website, the House of Illuminati did advertise the journey to be filled with wondrous creations. And The Unknown was actually one of them. And I don't think that the organizer had actually read through the scripts. And they just gave it to the actors. And the actors was like, who the hell is The Unknown? Because according to the script, The Unknown was supposed to be an evil rival chocolate maker who lives in the walls and wanting to steal candies from Wonka. They didn't know what to do because, okay, the unknown lives in the wall. We don't know much about this character, so let's put the unknown behind a mirror and creep out every time someone comes in and scare off the kids and adults, traumatizing them even more. I'm not too sure of the layout, but they're guided into this blackout room, which is just a curtain separating the sections. So they're guided into this small little box, and there was a mirror on the corner, right? Wonka was like, oh, welcome to my candy land, and then said, what is that? The unknown. That was it. That was the only description that people had for the unknown. And the parents were just stood there and they were like, what? I don't remember this character. And also my kid is crying because of the unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
No. Yeah, let's just say that everything was going so wrong in every way possible. Culture Crave, I think it's an account that posts like about movies, like updates about, they posted this. Police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience after families showed up to an empty warehouse. The event reportedly charged $40 for entry, advertised with AI art, and said that it will be a journey filled with wondrous creation and enchanting surprises at every turn. Kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be the magical experience. To be fair, they did offer surprises at every turn, just not in a good way. It was so bad that a couple hours into the event, parents, event attendees, they all called the police for fraud. They were like, "This is a scam and I need you to take it down." And police came to the scene. So the event was shut down halfway. And the dude in charge of the House of Illuminati and of this event, he sneaked through the angry crowd and ran away. So yeah, the Willy Wonka experience ended in tears, in screams, in calls and police, and then, yeah, demands for refunds. Now, who is this person behind all of this scheme? I don't remember his name because I don't think it's as important, but I do remember what he said. He said that he didn't expect that much attention and people actually buying tickets, and said it looked good on paper, and said that he'll issue a refund to every ticket holder, which surprisingly he did do the refund. To as if all the refunds were done, I'm not too sure, but most of them got their refunds. I think they lost more money than they gained because they also didn't pay the actors as well. The actors didn't get the money. Up until today, the actors hasn't been paid yet. So yeah, that was an event that happened back in 2023, 2024. In 2026, we have our own second version of Willy Wonka Experience. This one is called Barbie Dream Fest, which apparently is run by a company called Mischief Management. Can we just talk about the company's name? We have House of Illuminati doing Wonka's one. We have Mischief Management doing the Barbie one. I just don't understand why they choose names like that. Is there no other good names? Here's what they promised. The website described Barbie Dream Fest as a fan-filled weekend of limitless possibilities where fans from across the world could come together for a 3-day celebration of empowerment, passion, and creativity in the name of Barbie. The official name was Barbie Dream Fest, the ultimate fan event. And this is what is included in the event. They had a dream house photo op where guests could explore larger-than-life version Barbie's iconic front yard. They also advertised an 80s disco roller rink where people could glide under the neon lights at a retro-inspired roller rink. There was also supposed to be a fashion show and a totally hair glam bar. There's vendors selling Barbie merch, special guests, which I think this is probably one of the things that is very authentic, is that they've got quite a list of special guests, not as much as the event should have had. So they actually have special guests who are voice actors in Barbie Life in a Dream House, such as Ken, Raquel. Raquel, I remember that she was like the bratty one, but she's like a friend and a foe at the same time. We're going to talk about the prices a bit later, but I just wanted you to see what they offered and how the event was. Now, keep Willy Wonka event in mind. This is probably a replica. I think it's probably worse than Willy Wonka. This was a TikTok from a person who bought a very expensive ticket, a Dream Pass, which I will tell you the price a bit later. But she posted a review and this was this.
It was very underwhelming. The space was huge and there was just so much emptiness. Y'all, what? Y'all, we came to this because it was so hyped online. It was, a bunch of vendors. They made it seem like there was so much to do. This is a huge space, okay, at the Broward Convention Center. It is empty. Empty, okay?
The event was held in yet again a very empty convention hall with random table spots, and the vendors are so scattered, and there's just like a pop of pink every here and now to be like, oh, this is Barbie. Let's go through what we've talked about that they are offering, right? They said there's a photo op for a Barbie Dream House, which if I were to go in, I would be expecting me in a big house where I would feel like a doll. From the pictures that people posted, it looked more like a cardboard style pink house, like cutout with just Barbie written on it and like a pink car placed nearby, some fake grass, and that was it. And this was apparently the iconic dream house for Barbie, which this, my friend, I would call it a school fair contest for a backdrop because back in school, I think my class would have done and put more effort into a backdrop than they have done. Later on, I think they changed the name to like Barbie's Backyard because people were complaining so much about how it's like falsely advertised. And the roller rinks that it's 80s theme, you're gonna, glide under neon lights. It is just a fence of block in the middle of the hall, and it's just a little pop of pink, just one space that they just put fence around and they just called it a rink. The space was probably a bit too small to roller skate as well. There was also a bike obstacle course for kids, which they literally put the cone on the floor and says, there, that's your obstacle course. You can go for it. And we've got the hair glam bar. The website said they would have glitter, crimps, colorful extension, the whole Barbie fancy. But according to one person who went, she said that it was more like a third-party princess party. It's not a good setup if you're thinking of the brand Barbie. Barbie seems to be a big, gigantic brand. But in this case, if you get a ponytail, you're lucky because that's extra service, apparently. And, oh my God, okay, there's a photo op spot for a space-themed Barbie that says, this is a cosmic celebration of astronaut Barbie that made an impact towards science, technology, and exploration of space. But then again, we need to remember the dream house to turn into a backyard drop. This is your intergalactic space that Barbie explored. Basically, one of the standing photo boxes where you post to make it look like you're inside the box. And that was it. So this is the cosmic celebration of astronaut Barbie that made a huge impact on science, which is reduced down to a box. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a box. Now, if you're connecting the pieces together, everything that was advertised, let's just say that I don't think they met any of their offers at all. You just gotta have to imagine the rest. And yes, like the Wonka event, people were disappointed. They were deeply disappointed because the price ticket. We're coming to a price ticket. The Wonka Experience was £35 or $40 American dollars. This Barbie experience was not cheap. You would think that looking at the photos of the event, max would be like, $50? But no, a one-day adult pass was around $66. A child day pass was around $29. Then there is the general pass, which is around $143 for adults, $75 for children. Now, that's the basic, right? They have the bigger ones. There was a pink pass that was around $240. Remember the lady who I showed the TikTok that she was reviewing the space? She bought the Dream Pass. Dream Pass is about $430. For that price, if I were to pay that much for a ticket, I would want Barbie herself to walk me in, give me a drink, do my hair, say hi Barbie, and I say hi Barbie back, and we have a fabulous Barbie day and introduce me to Ken. But apparently the Dream Pass was supposed to give you the ultimate Barbie experience. So naturally, people who are a huge fan of Barbie, they would buy the Dream Pass hoping that they'll get a lot. But apparently it was treated like a general pass and they didn't get any exclusive perks to it at all. So yeah, people were pissed off. They were like, I spent $500 just to be here. And I traveled from far just to be in this Barbie fan festival. And there's nothing. It was just disappointment after disappointment. You will walk in, turn one turn, and you just see disappointment. You see a disappointing rink. You see a disappointing Dream Life house, which is not Dream Life. In comparison to Wonka's chocolate experience, I think they put in more effort than this Barbie event. I stand my ground saying the Wonka is better than this one, but it's still shit. But it's still better than this one because this one, they literally put in no effort at all at trying to make the space look like a Barbie Dreamhouse Land. So after the first day, they were flooded with complaints and people emailing them about they want a refund, this is a scam. So they changed the description of some of the things to offer what they reflect. Despite doing that, they're still filtering it to make it sound good than it actually is. And because of this experience that they had with the event, Barbie Dream Fest turned into Barbie Nightmare Fest. From what was shared, people who bought the 3-day pass, they were offered a refund, but like a partial refund, not a full refund. So yeah, that was a deep dive into Willy Wonka's chocolate experience in Glasgow and Barbie's Nightmare Fest in Florida that just recently happened. Now let's think, what can we learn from this so we don't have another repeated event that I'll come in and I'll be like, hey, we've got the Wonka event again, but it's now in 2028. Whatever organizer that will be organizing events that I'll go to or that will go viral. If I'm going to Wonka Experience, I'm expecting myself to have lots of marshmallows, lots of hot cocoa, and every single pocket of mine has to be filled with candy when I leave the space, and my dentist would be hating me because I would be eating too much candy from the event. And for the Barbie event, I think I'm just expecting more effort. Wonka had much more effort. Like they actually went through AI and says, create a script, and they print out the script. They gave it to the actors. They at least got a costume for the actors as well. That being said, I'm curious to know what you think. Which one do you think went down worse? Because my answer would be Barbie Festival because they charged way too much for what they were providing. I think next week I need to do a 90 Days Fiancé episode because it's been way too long. I know I feel tired just watching them, but I just can't miss out on 90 Days Fiancé's content. If you love TikTok drama, I got you. If you love horrible dating shows, I got you. And if you just love to know random stories just to tell people for fun, I got you. I was just recording the last line of You're Absolutely Welcome and the camera died on me. Thanks for joining in. Be sure to check out my other videos. As usual, you didn't ask for the story, but you're absolutely welcome.